Shalom, my sister and brother. I pray that all is well with each and every one of you. Happy Sunday. If you're here in Atlanta, it's rainy, but it's beautiful. And I thank God for the rain because my grass needed it. Listen, as I promised you all yesterday and this morning in my morning video, I want to share something a little personal with you. I had a moment yesterday. I was driving home from the mall with my son. He liked to go sometimes, and we like to window shop. And so we were window shopping, and then we sat down and we ate. And then on the way home, I was having a girly moment, a womanly moment. And so I want to say this to you. If you are going to judge, I'm going to ask that you swipe away now. I am a real human being just like the rest of you. I serve God. I'm a vessel that God uses to encourage people. But anyway, I was on my way home and I was having a moment. And you're going to see me kind of looking down because I had to type a lot of this out just remembering I had to cry through this moment of what God shared with me. So I was riding home and I asked God, I was feeling that, I wanted a man to be driving for me. I was thinking about what would we do when he and I got home. And I asked God, God, why won't you bless me with a relationship, a marriage with love? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to have someone to communicate with every day, someone I can call while I'm at work and just kind of talk to. So I was in that frame of mind yesterday, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just my hormones, my emotions. I don't know what was going on. But the response that I got from God was a little jarring, but it was my reality. And as I thought about it throughout the rest of the night, and I came to understand what he was saying, because I've been understood it, but I do go through those moments when I'm like, God, I'm ready for a relationship. I want to be loved. And God has already told me kind of in the past that I'm not really ready. But what I got from him yesterday was it was amazing. He says, daughter, can we tell the truth? It was like, daughter, can we tell the truth? You don't want love. You're not ready for love yet. What you want, what you're yearning for, what you've been constantly chasing for since you was 13 years old is to be picked. It's to be chosen, to be validated, to be seen. So it's like you don't want love. You just want to be picked so that you feel worthy. You want anyone with a certain look. I have a type, there's a certain type of man that I like, one a little muscular, someone that I don't know. I just have a type, someone that will, look at you, point at you and say, you're the one. You're the one I choose. You're worthy of being in a relationship with me. Someone that will make you feel like you're finally enough. Someone that says without saying verbally, I see you. I choose you. Somewhere in your heart, deep down, my daughter, you have come up with this not so true equation that to be chosen by a man is to be safe. You want to be desired because you feel like to be desired is to be valuable, to be worthy. In anything that threatens that equation, anything that reminds you that real love is a choice that someone makes for you, you reject. You feel that being picked by someone, you had to earn their love. Like you perform. You would do a lot of performing for people, for them to kind of validate you, for him. I remember in past relationships, I have given everything to be loved, to show and to prove to a mate that I am worthy. And God says, that's not love, daughter. You're just performing. You are performing wifely duties before he even puts a ring on it, before he even chooses to want to be in relationship with you. That's not real love. That is not real love. You still need to heal from your childhood wounds. You still need to heal from the sexual abuse trauma that you went through. And until you heal from that, daughter, you will always perform. And then he started showing me different relationships that I was in. He said, remember what you did with him? You went to prison, so to speak, for him. Now, the caveat, I didn't go to prison for a man. I didn't do what I did on my own accord. But I did something to perform, to prove to him, because he made me feel less than. Because it was like the women that he was wanting were go-getters. They were women that were in the drug game. And so it was like, because I equated, because they had money is why he wanted them. And so I started committing crimes to get money to show him or to try to prove that I was valuable. And it didn't. And because being picked by someone, you had to earn their love, someone emotionally unavailable, chaotic, hard to impress no matter what you do, you feel like that's some type of redemption for what your parents didn't give you. It feels like healing to you. My daughter, that's not healing. I need you to know who I created you to be from the foundation of the earth. You were created in my image. I love you. I need to teach you what true love is. And so before I will release you to a relationship, I want to show you what love really is. You perform at work so that your superiors, your boss, the owners, they like you, they validate you. You feel like when they give you the applause, that's validation because your parents never gave you that. It's just another performance. It's just another, everything you do is performance based, my daughter. And I want you to get out of that. When I tell y'all, as I was sitting listening to God, some people would say it was beating you up, but I don't call it beating me up. I just call it God is being honest with me and loving me. He is loving me through the hurt and the pain. And just going back, looking at some of my past relationships, I realized I gave everything I had for them to see me because my parents didn't see me. My dad saw me because he wanted something from me. And so I began just subconsciously to equate that if I gave you something, you would love me. I would mean something to you. And it never did. How many of us go about our day? And I'm going to say women, and it could be some men too, but I'm speaking for women in this moment, men. I'm not rejecting you, but how many of us do so many things that somebody will pick us because it will validate us? It would make us feel like we're worthy. It will make us feel like we're valuable. God says you're valuable because I created you valuable. You are worthy because I created you worthy. But there's something because of, for me, trauma that showed me because I haven't given enough of me, I'm not worth your love. God says, beautiful, you don't want that. That's not what you want. This started a long time ago, and it's been with me for years and years and years. It's like when you're hurting, you just want somebody to pick you. You want them to make you feel like you matter to them. And you are willing to perform and give and do everything you could. That's why you open up that restaurant, because opening up that restaurant made you to appear to be valuable. You equate possessions with value. You equate having more with value. So if you can perform and show them that I can get it, that I can make things happen, you think they will look at you and say you are worthy. Why would I, a loving father, put you with somebody that's going to do that to you again? You have spent over 20 years going through that. I love you too much, my daughter, to let you go back through that again. You learned that being easy, charming, smart, helpful, pleasant, it's like those things were enough. Never too much. You became whatever anybody needed you to be just so you would avoid being abandoned. You became the version of yourself that was most likely to be chosen in the eyes of another. The version that wasn't truly enough. You buried that person. Now you're grown, but the wound remains. You are grown, you're still living with all of that trauma. You say you want to be loved, but what you mean is you want to be validated. You want someone to make you feel like you are worthy. You say you want a partnership, but what you mean is a witness who will finally say you're good enough. A mistake, you make the mistake, anxiety for chemistry. You make the mistake, distance for mystery. You make the mistake that someone unpredictable can validate you, can make you belong, can make you feel. Deep down, you believe the harder they are to earn their love, the more valuable you must be for them to choose you. So it's like you will overextend yourself because the harder they're making it for me to like capture their attention, that must mean I must be that much valuable. So you're willing to perform. You ignore the steady love that feels unfamiliar because deep down, your nervous system is wired for chaos. Let me say this to you, dear. My daughter, clearly as possible, you are not addicted to love. You don't want love. You are addicted to performance. You are addicted to pursuit. You are like a lot of men. Men like challenge. And that's what you pursue. It is a challenge for you to be able to say, I conquered love. That's not love. True, grounded, emotionally secure love that I want to give you, God, my daughter, it won't happen It won't make you feel, it won't make you have to prove anything, which is why it feels boring or foreign or off to you. Because real love doesn't spike your nervous system. It doesn't trigger your fight or fight. It doesn't make you question you're worthy every 5 minutes. It doesn't make you want to hear from him every second to make you feel like you're something. And I had to sit with a lot of what God was showing me yesterday. And it was a lot. It was a lot because it was my reality that in all of my years of wanting relationship, I performed to have relationship. And it's like, right now, daughter, you're not healed enough for me to give you anyone. I love you too much in your broken state to bless you with a relationship that is only going to hurt you even further. I love you. I don't know if this will bless any of you, but I just want you to know, striving and performing to be with someone, that's not what God ordained for us. Now, in relationship, you're going to do things to show that person you love. It's a choice you're making, but you're not performing to get that person to see how valuable you are. That's not what God created us for. That is not what God created us for. And I have spent so many years doing it. Like I told you, to the point of I went to prison now, and I realize now, all that I look back on those relationships, none of them ever loved me. They loved what my hand could give them. They love how I perform for them, how I can buy them things. And I equated my giving and their receiving and their spending time with me as love. Anybody will spend time with you for money. Anybody will spend time for you for what you can give them. Anybody will tell you what you want to hear for what you can offer them. So my sister and brother, I just want to encourage you with this. That is not love. I know we want to be picked. And I feel like for me, what God tells me is marriage may not be your thing. Because I know my propensity to perform for love, that has not grown out of me yet. And God is still working on that. And I know that if I get in a relationship with somebody, I have the ability to turn, so to speak, from God and pursue them as if they were my God. God said in his word in the commandments, have no other God before me. And I tend to make relationships my love, my God, so to speak. So I just encourage you, whoever you are, know this. We got to stop performing for love. That is not real love. That is not what God has for us. God loves us too much. And this type of content, if you're new to my channel, I pray and I ask that you would like and subscribe. This particular channel I do a lot of morning prayer encouragement, and this is encouragement as well, but more of my personal stories, my personal testimony is what I feel like as I laid there last night in my bed before I went to sleep, is what God wants me to share to help somebody heal. It may not be for everybody. I'm going to share this type of content on my other page. It's called Daily Living with Tantoinette. Many of you already email me and say, hey, somebody's using your picture, somebody have set up another page with you. That's my other page. And I feel that page is going to be more of my personal journey with my life, things that I've experienced, things that I've heard about. I will share some of those things on this page, but I'll ask that you'll follow me on both pages. This page where you get the morning prayer and devotional, and then the other page where I share a lot of my personal life, my personal testimonies, because I just want us to grow. And I want, for those of us who are hurting, who want relationship, who wants to be loved, that we not perform to have it, because that's not God. Because if you start performing now, you will always have to perform to have that person's love. I'm sure you've heard that saying, how you start something is how you end it. How you gain a man or how you gain anything is what you have to do to keep it, so to speak, or how you'll lose it. How they talk about sometimes women who still married men, so to speak, is you might gain him that way, but you'll also lose him by another woman. And so if you're new, subscribe and like, and I want you to put down in the comments, I will not perform. I love each and every one of you. Men perform too to be loved. Men have gone through trauma. Men have gone through things, and they just want to be loved as well. That's why I'm sure you hear that said a lot of times, men will pick women like their mothers. They love their mothers, and that's not a bad thing, right? So men perform as well as women, but I think women perform a whole lot more than men do. So I just say to you, it's a hunting fear to be picked, to be chosen, to be validated because you perform. Don't do it. I am a witness to tell you it never happens. It never happens, my sister and brother. I love each and every one of you. I know this was a little long, but I pray that this blesses you. You all have the most amazing day. Enjoy this, for me, rainy Sunday. You all be blessed. Shalom.